Dan here, guys. We're sitting in front of a house we just closed on yesterday. This is a sub 2 house that we just bought at a 5.25% interest rate, 30-year financing. Probably going to be all in at about an 80% ARV on this one, maybe a little bit more, but it's a great rate and it needs almost nothing, guys. A very, very light rehab. So we're going to go in, check it out, and tell you the strategy that we're going to be using on this one to really improve the cash flow and why this is going to be a great investment adding to my portfolio. Right, so we did a little walkthrough, guys. You can see the seller just moved out. She actually did a really fantastic job cleaning up the property, getting all of her stuff moved. So really don't need to do any kind of cleanup. As you can see, this property is in basically turnkey shape. We need to just touch up a few things. We need to install, actually she had an HVAC unit and a mini split and a water heater actually new in the box right there in the garage. She just hadn't had them installed. So gonna have a crew install those. Guys, it's really cool. So this property would probably rent for about $1,500 to $1,600. This is technically a 3-bed, 1-bath. It's in a good neighborhood, probably a solid C+ area, maybe even B-. So a solid area, 3-bed, 1-bath, 1-car garage house. It's got actually a bonus bedroom. This garage is like really deep. You can see out there. It actually goes out behind the house, and they actually converted it into a 4th room. I think it was an addition, so it doesn't have any ductwork. I think this garage actually as a whole was an addition. But there's a mini split there that we're gonna be adding on to the back room to get it air conditioned. We're gonna finish it with some flooring. So this will functionally be a 4-bed, 1-bath house. And so while this house might rent for, $1,500, maybe $1,600, if we furnished it, we might be able to get maybe $1,800 out of it a month, which would be solid. But if I go ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and rent this house out by the room. I'm gonna rent 4 rooms out for about $750 each. That's $3,000 a month. Now there's gonna be some additional expenses. I need to furnish the whole house. I'm gonna have to put beds, bed sets, couches, things like that in the house, which will be a few $1,000s. And there's gonna be additional expenses. I'm gonna have to pay for all the utilities every month, and I'm gonna have to pay to have the grass mowed, as well as a cleaner to come, once a month, something like that. So the expenses of the utilities on this house are probably gonna be in the neighborhood of $600 to $800 a month on the very high end for all those services. But that's gonna convert my cash. The payment on this house is about $1,300. So, if I just rented it out, it really wouldn't cash flow. But if I rent it out like this, even with those additional expenses on top, and then that's not even including maintenance and use. So really, if net after it's all said and done, I'm probably gonna net out more like, $500 to $600 a month on this property, instead probably breaking even or losing money on this property as a regular rental. And for me, this strategy is great. I have 2 other properties. I had 3 other properties like this that I use the same exact rent by the room strategy. So really there's very little risk for me, as there's extremely high demand. I get tenant requests all the time, and it's going to be a great strategy to make $500 of cash flow net in my pocket after all the expenses are done done. And you know, I only bought this house and put about $9,500 down and took over this loan sub 2. So, you know, you do the math, $500 a month, that's $6,000 in return in just the first year. So, you know, that's like a 60% cash on cash return the first year. And then, you know, by probably a year and a half, 2 years, I'll have 100% of my money out of this property that I'll have invested. And literally every single month after that is going to be totally gravy. And so this is going to be a great investment. The house is in great shape. It really doesn't need much, if anything. It was actually updated 2 years ago, so it really doesn't need anything. And we were able to, you know, this gal was an expired listing. I'm not really sure why her house didn't sell. You know, it had some equity. I think there was a few things that it needed some touch-ups, but really, you know, it's in great shape and it's going to work great for this strategy. So it's going to be a great investment for us, guys. If you want to know more about this rent for room strategy, you know, some call it the pad split strategy. I haven't yet used pad split. I just manage them myself. Works out great for me. I have a couple properties that are doing this already. It's going to be a great addition to the portfolio, and it's going to be a great investment going forward. Guys, if you like this video, tell me what kind of strategy you're using down in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next chapter.